everybody? Welcome to the Wingin podcast. Jack, how you doing?
I am good, man. How about yourself?
I am making it. Fortunately, Andre stepped away for a little bit, so we'll hit him up when he comes back. But what you been playing, man?
I've been heavy into this fantasy life. The girl that stole time. When I tell you this game, I didn't even know it existed. Didn't even know it was coming out. And I think I was on YouTube for something. And there is this one content creator that I started following, and she does like all cozy games. And so she started mentioning the game, and I'm watching it. And I think at the time I was trying to figure out like some more games I was going to pick up for the Switch too, and this one popped up. And I think one of the key things that sold me also too was the multiplayer aspect, to where like me and the boys can play, and the story's there, but it's not important. So that's my thing with the kids. Like they like, hey, if we could just skip it and get right into it. So while you can't finish missions in multiplayer, they have like this big open area where y'all can go loot and get your level up and everything like that. And get like everything stocked up. So when you do go back to your main story, it kind of makes life a little bit easier.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's been on point. At one point in time, I was gonna ignore it, because even those same content creators were like, "Oh, I'm not gonna touch the Switch version. I'm not gonna touch the Switch version. I'm only gonna get it on PC because of the trailer that Level 5 showed." So there was a Level 5 released a trailer, and it looked like the frame rate was like tanking bad in the trailer. But then whenever people start playing the game, it was like, oh, well, maybe they fixed it. Like,
No,
and
well, level 5 is notorious for showing like alpha footage stuff in trailers, and
yeah,
then when you get the game, it's everything's working like a champ. So
and
they're
that's what
notorious for that.
a lot of them at least went back and fixed. Was like, hey, look, there was no issue here. But with a game that has cross saves, so you can easily do cross saves. You just have to make sure you have an Epic account. And then also to have Nintendo Switch Online or PSN or Xbox Live, because I saw one content creator that was kind of pissed off that she has an Epic account, but she didn't have Nintendo Switch Online, and she couldn't do the cross save without the
I mean,
online.
that makes
Which I feel
sense.
like common sense, but hey, like, it is what it is. But no, I mean, it's been a really dope game. I think I poured probably like 15 hours in it already.
Oh,
And the only reason why I went ahead to get it now, opposed to waiting, because the kids won't be getting it until this upcoming Friday, is because you have to at least get to chapter 3 to do multiplayer. So I was like, well, let me go ahead and get into it now, and then I'm just waiting for them to get to chapter 3, which don't take long. But right now I'm just trying to decide how I want to play, whether it's to continue on with the story or kind of unlock the license for all the lives that you can get, because I think it's like 12 to 15 lives that you can unlock the license, which is super easy. You just kind of go to the guild and say, hey, I want to be this. And they all serve a purpose, whether it's you're a mercenary, you want to be a cook, a blacksmith, a woodcutter, whatever the case may be. Like, it all serves a purpose. And you really have even if you're not playing with people, you have a team of 4, and y'all just kind of go and do combat. And even in situations like, for example, if I have somebody that has a specialty in mining, they'll help you mine on top of that, because mining also takes stamina. So it's a whole thing, and many games within doing a certain thing. So it's a good kind of laid back, turn your brain off type game.
okay.
So yeah, it's pretty dope.
That's nice. I've been playing Power Rangers Rita Rewind.
You finally picked it up?
Yeah, I picked it up.
Okay.
Um I like it. It kind of reminds me of the Super NES game a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It does. I'm not gonna lie. There's only like one part I don't really care for, and that's how they did the Megazord
I
battles in
knew
there.
exactly what you was about to say.
I'm like, why y'all did them like this?
Yeah, I didn't care for it.
I'm like,
And
y'all should have did like they did on SNES and Genesis, where it just turned into like a 2D fighter. Like,
yep, that's what I thought was gonna happen. But I remember watching a review, and they said they did that. And multiplayer is even weirder, because y'all have to take turns.
yeah,
So I'm fighting, and then it swaps out to the next person, and then they
and
go, and
yeah. That's all I'm like.
yeah, yeah,
I was trying to understand the reason for doing that, but I'm like, it don't make sense. But
right,
it is a fun side scroller. It is a fun
yeah,
beat, especially in the vein of like Shredder's Revenge
mm-hmm.
and games that we've been getting. I kind of like that they're doing that. as far as like the side scrolling beat 'em ups, because I'm like, yeah, go back to some of those like games that don't take but only like 2-3 hours to beat, but you got a bunch of collectibles and stuff to do.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
kind of because I can play that and be satisfied.
Right. Yep.
Jump back into Tears of the Kingdom a little bit because I want to. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. I want to do something new for the gameplay side of things, and I'm thinking
Okay.
on just boss battles vid, just like see how a real boss battle go. Because sometimes I feel like some people they only put in like after they done beat a boss like 15 times, then they go put in the how fast they beat it. You're like, bro,
Yeah.
go that easy your first time. So I would do the complete opposite of that. Be like, yeah, this is the
Okay.
first time I played it. Y'all finna see all the mess ups I did. I
Right.
won, but the mess ups I did.
But it took me a minute.
Yeah, so I wanted to do it that way so people don't feel like discouraged. Like nah, dude, because some people just don't. They don't want to show you how many times they rage quit before
Yeah.
they. When I'll just do that. So I've been going back through that. It's kind of fun to do. Still doing Xenoblade Chronicles X because I'm trying to get my I need to do the flight module affinity mission.
Okay.
And since I'm on the waiting list for Switch 2, I might as well just go and finish it.
That's crazy, man. That right there hurt my spirit when you told me that.
Yeah.
That
So
hurt.
since I'm on the waiting list, it is what it is.
Damn.
So I'm just gonna go on and finish it on out because I was waiting. I told myself I was gonna do up to chapter 10, get the flight module, then just do affinity missions.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot. Oh, there's a lot of affinity missions. So I was gonna do all that while I'm waiting for the Switch 2 to get here, and then do my because that's supposed to get a bump up too, if I'm not mistaken. That's one of the ones supposed to get a bump. So I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, cool. I'll just finish it then. When I play it in 360p, 10 frames a second, just to piss off everybody. I wish they would do that though. That would have been funny. That would have been funny if they would have had like 540. They would have 480, 540,
Man, what are y'all doing,
1080,
man?
1440. Like do all of them. Just do
Man, y'all was the goats, man. What y'all doing, man?
just the best. Y'all know I'd do it. I would do it in a heartbeat. I'd turn that thing to 360p, just to mess with people. Do a whole live stream like that, just to mess with people. But yeah,
you have people hot.
Yeah, so that and I am still playing Fatal Fury City of the Wolves. I don't know why people are hating it. I find it's fun.
But from my understanding, I think a lot of people put this in the same category as Virtua Fighter, as in it takes time to really get it together. And
but they give people two options. You don't have to. You can use like the casual because that's what I've been doing. I've been doing the casual because like some of them you need a fight stick for some of these games. Some of these fighting games you really do need a fight stick for. So,
yeah.
But
you know how people are. It's like even though nobody's in their house, it's like, man, I can't do it on the casual because I ain't playing the way it's supposed to be played.
If they have a mode in there, that's the way it's supposed to be played.
Exactly.
If they put a mode in there, that's the way it's supposed to be played. Yeah, I hate that idea that you got to play stuff on apocalyptic mode or you have to. Man, bro, no, you don't.
Like it's cool if you plan to go to somebody's tournament. That makes sense. But if it's just you casually playing, have fun with it. Don't bum yourself out over it.
You will never see me at Evo. All right, so trust me, you will never see me at Evo. So I don't play, and most people that know that and see my playthroughs, y'all know I don't take this serious.
Yeah,
I ain't trying to run my blood pressure up. I got enough health problems. Man. I ain't trying to run my blood pressure up. So yeah, I've been having fun with City of the Wolves.
Okay,
it actually makes me want another Fatal Fury movie.
Okay.
Animated movie because they should not have brought in Masami Abari to do the intro, knowing good and well. I'm sitting there like, y'all couldn't do the other movie that y'all set up. I hate y'all. So yeah, Dark Boy, I the one by me, they're saying that, but I ain't going there. I ain't doing no midnight pickup. The one that's by me is notorious for foolishness happening. I'll just leave it at that. So I would not be doing that. I did put myself on the list for Best Buy and
Tarjay?
not Target, Walmart.
Okay. Yeah, because I know a lot of them said they're gonna have some
Yeah,
day one. So
the Walmart by me is on the level, so
okay.
I ain't got to worry about that. But that GameStop just by me, I'm like, nah, I got to,
Yeah, I had doing hood ratchet with your
yeah.
friends. I feel you. Like,
I have to bring out the nunchucks, the katana. I'm like the battle axe. I'm like, bro, I ain't with these games today. I'm not with these games today. So yeah, so that's why I'm like, yeah. That's another reason why I don't do like midnight release no more. Because I'm like, bro, first of all, I gotta go to work in the morning. So
that's why I made sure I took the day off.
yeah, that's why I'm like, man, I gotta go to work. I ain't trying to. And then I know I'm not going. All I'm gonna do is put the box in the room and go to sleep. So,
I say I'll make it a mission. I ain't got no choice but to play it.
yeah, I'll set it up tomorrow.
Yeah.
So that's me. So yeah, whatever. That's pretty much how it is. But yeah, I'll see what happens.
Hopefully you get one because, like I said, I don't know what they're doing as far as the second round will go.
Yeah,
because the way they talking, the second round might be a minute.
Yes, the way they acting like second round might be in July or August. Yeah, I'm like, okay, y'all tripping. Y'all tripping. But whatever. I just don't think they got enough for here. And I have my theories as to why.
Yeah.
And most of it deals with that tariff situation.
Yep.
That got pushed back to another 90 days till like August or September or something now.
He might as well let it go, dude.
Yeah. So because it's messing people, it's messing like orders and stuff up. That's what it's doing.
Yeah.
Because like people are like businesses they have to take that into consideration. I don't think people understand that. Like you have to, everything now is globalized, so you have to take that stuff into consideration. So yeah. So it is what it is. Andre, you ready?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. What you been playing, man?
Straight blank. Been playing First Descendant and started playing Fight and Rage for some reason.
Love Fight and Rage.
I completely forgot I had it in my Steam library. Then I just saw it sitting there. I was like,
hey. I love that you could play it in the CRT mode. Dude, I love that.
That game is a lot more fun than I expected it to be. It kind of reminds me of Guardian Heroes a bit when you playing it because you got the multi-tiered endings and storyline. I was like, okay, so this is a game I could blow through 3 or 4 times in a day and come back to several times.
Oh yeah, because it ain't that long. It ain't that long at all. So yeah, Fight and Rage. Yeah, I need to jump back on that one myself because I enjoyed it because I picked that one up when it first released. And I was like, yeah, this is fun.
Okay,
this is fun. And Guardian Heroes does need to make a comeback. Treasure can do that. I don't know why they're tripping. So
and they said we ain't working.
Yeah. So y'all know on these freestyling episodes we just talk, and just ask y'all questions. Y'all ask us questions, all the other good stuff. Yeah. So I have nothing. I just wanted to talk some positivity because there's been like a lot of like negative. Please click on our video press.
Yeah.
Going out.
So, which we told y'all was gonna come because it's eating season. You know what I mean? It's like I got to either create my channel or my channel got to get up there, and the best way to do it is through negativity.
Yep,
the best way of doing it.
So I want to go in the complete opposite direction of that. Okay. So, and first things first, I do want to say this. I remember, like y'all all know that my favorite gen is the 6th gen. That's my favorite generation, gaming generation. We truly were spoiled during that generation. Yep. But one thing I did notice was like we used to get like actually not bad movie tie-in games.
Yeah.
Like the very first Spider-Man, Two Towers, and Return of the King. Back when EA actually was decent. And when anonymous EA senior engineer is talking trash about somebody.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, like, what would be a good like movie tie-in game that I can see being good now if a good team got it? And I was thinking like, what if they made John Wick like a side-scrolling beat 'em up shooter?
Depending on who
Who
did
made
it,
it? Yeah.
yeah, because the one thing I would be concerned with is them jumping back to Sleeping Dogs or
Oh yeah.
anything Max Payne like, or
Man,
any
that,
of those Matrix games, because they would just phone it in.
yeah.
But if we're talking about like just if we're talking about John Wick, I would want like an original story
Mm-hmm.
from it. Just to kind of depart it. I mean, we understood he kind of had similar stories throughout those movies. Mine is like towards the ends where he's trying to get out of shit, like, all right, and you're gonna get back in. You know, just don't mess with his dog. But
Yeah, just don't mess with the dog. Do not mess with that dog or the car.
yeah, or the car. So it's
Yeah.
just one of those things to where like it really could work because it could take us back to like that 6th gen era to where we did get games like that.
Mm.
But it really would come down to who did it, and I really wouldn't want anybody to just say, "Oh, let's just do it just like Sleeping Dogs or The Matrix or any game like that that we already played."
Yeah, it would have to be like an action studio, like
Yep.
some like Koei Tecmo or like Platinum or somebody like that. That's what they do.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
Dark Void actually Sinners would actually be interesting.
That was like the first one I thought about when you
Yeah.
said it too.
Sinners would actually be interesting because you would have. Yeah, but how would you do it though? You've had to do it kind of like what they did with the Lord of the Rings when they did like
Mhm.
Two Towers and Return of the King, like kind
Right.
of splice it into doing stuff. Such a, but yeah, I can see Sinners working, but that's another one that would depend on who's doing it.
Yeah, a
It
lot
would
of these
depend on
really
who's
sit
doing
on that for sure.
it. Yeah.
I'm trying to think what would be another movie because oh man, because I mean, when you think about some of these movies or shows, I mean, they coming from games already.
Yeah, now, yeah.
Yes.
It's
So I'm
kind of
like,
come full circle a little
yeah.
bit. I one I do think that could probably work just because we did have a couple games in 56 gen Mission
Mhm.
Impossible.
Yeah. I mean, they
We
got the
did
new
have a
movie getting
couple
ready
of
to
them.
come out.
Yeah, we had a couple of them. Because I think there was one, if I'm not mistaken, there was either one on the Saturn or the PS1, and then there was the other one that was on PS2 and OG Xbox. I think.
Okay.
I don't think it came to GameCube. I don't think it may have. I don't think, but Mission Impossible was another one that I know. One of the games, I think the PS2 game was the one that everybody liked. I don't think the PS1 game was the one that everybody liked though.
Nah, I don't think so either.
I remember right, the Mission Impossible on PS1 sucked.
Yeah, but the one on I think the one on 2 and OG Xbox was the one that everybody was like, yeah, this is good.
Look, younger me wasn't willing to touch it after experiencing it, so I missed out.
Yeah, because I think because what they were trying to go was like the siphon filter route, and I think that
the siphon filter was what Mission Impossible should.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's one of those situations where I'm like, yeah, that would actually work. I kind of miss the James Bond games, but I'm kind of glad they are coming back. I just don't know who's making it because we know we got the one that they showed the Switch 2 reveal and they showed the barrel, and I'm like, yeah, but who making it?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
A couple of them EA games were good, but they couldn't hold a candle to Rare. But then again, most people couldn't. Most people couldn't. We're being honest.
I would say this is an easy one, and this one really comes down to who's making it, because we've seen people screw it up, and that's the MCU games. Those should be fairly easy to do. It's just they find some way to keep messing them up. I don't know.
What they need to do is stop trying to make high profile games. What they need to do is go ahead, dial it back, make some like the old school games like what we used to get.
Like X-Men Legends and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I was even saying go further back than that. Like go back to the SNES and Sega Genesis games.
Oh, the like Mutant Apocalypse and Blood Ties and
Yep.
Children of Adam and all that.
Start off from there and build your way up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If they do that, one, they'll be able to get more games out more frequently. Two, they can spotlight characters that they want to. Because who wouldn't want to do a Mission Impossible type game as Black Widow?
True.
Yeah.
That's true.
And who wouldn't want to be the action hero as either Captain America or Hawkeye? Because that's basically playing one of the Arkham games with either of them.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I know there was a lot of people who didn't like it, but I enjoyed Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
Yeah, like I said, I only had one complaint, and that was the multiplayer camera that they use, because the camera stayed focused on the primary person even after you died. So it's like
the only thing my main complaint was that, and it was that overly complicated level up system. They made it too complicated. I should not need a degree to figure out your damn level up, your
learn astrophysics.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, I'm like, dude, I don't care. My name is not Reed Richards. I'm trying to just do this. I'm just trying to play this game, man. I've just got off work.
Yeah.
I just want to blow stuff up with Gambit. That's all I really want to do. I ain't trying to reinvent the wheel here. But that was my only like real complaint about that one. But I remember, Andre, we said this because that joke was funny. That E3 where Square had that whole thing by themselves, and we sitting up there like Nintendo just sitting back there in the back in that Treehouse Live, like, we about to make bank. So because if you saw that Avengers
the trailer
crash the night before, and then the next day, the first thing that I knew Nintendo was petty.
That wasn't the first thing on their list either. They
moved it up. They like, y'all so petty. They moved the Marvel Ultimate Alliance up to the first slot. Because I'm sitting back there, and then we see gameplay. We see, because they did the X-Men Mansion, and then they did the X-Men Mansion, and then they did the opening. And I'm sitting there like, bro, they just they said
somebody marketing called to say, hey, look, you see how ugly this game is?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, bro, and then come to find out, like, they didn't even need to sell that many just to make break even. They sold over that.
I think they only had to sell a couple 100,000 to make to break even.
And they sold like 1.5 mil or something, and still going.
Yeah. So they made their money 5 times over. So they did.
That's disgusting.
And it's Koei Tecmo, Team Ninja did it, and I'm like, bro.
But we got people that say that's a failure for getting the budget of the game.
Wow.
First of all, no game should be costing $200, $300, $400 million. That's ridiculous. No. So I mean, that's how you're supposed to do it. And then people got mad talking about, it's an exclusive. I'm like, what's the problem? Y'all got Avengers. Y'all got Marvel's Avengers.
Paid for it.
Yeah. Y'all got Marvel's Avengers. Play that.
Like, if you want to get mad at anybody, get mad at Microsoft and Sony for not funding it.
Yeah.
Right.
The same thing with the whole thing with Bayonetta. And Kami wasn't having it. He was like, no, we went to Sony and Microsoft. They said no. Nintendo
he asked them first.
Yep.
So if you mad, go talk to them. I'm like, get them, Kami. So that is one of those ones where I would love to see that come back. Personally, I would love to get an X-Men game, but that's just me because I am a X-Men fanboy, so that's my favorite comic. So I would actually enjoy if they do, because I enjoyed X-Men Legends. That's one of the ones I hope slide it in the GameCube to the GameCube NSO.
Oh, so you put both of them in there.
So is that a license problem?
Yeah.
Because who had that back then? It was Activision, and it was Raven Software.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, it was Raven that had it. Yeah.
But now also Disney owns the properties.
Yeah, so
that's gracious, bro.
So I don't even know how that's going to work, because Disney might just be like, hey, do it. Because they still going to get them.
I think Disney would be willing to do it because they know they make money off of putting them on there.
Yeah, regardless. And they don't have a game studio, quote unquote, themselves anymore. So,
which was still dumb. That was so dumb for Disney to do.
Yeah, that was stupid. But hey, they found out the hard way. You know what, Aries? I would have loved to see a Rocky game, but the problem is because I fell in love with like Ready to Rumble and like the Lil Mac Punch Out games.
Punch Out, yeah.
That's I think that'll probably like mess with me a little bit. But I see what you're saying.
I mean, if they did do a Rocky game back then, it would have been problem would have been that it would have been like Fight Night.
Yeah, true. Because all I'd be fighting with is Clubber Lang. Mr. T, boy, Clubber Lang is the best Rocky villain of all time, bro. I was like, this man came to Rocky's press conference and pimped his wife in front of him. At that point, I'm like, Rocky, you gotta go fight him now, dude. I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah, you ain't got no choice at that point.
Like, bro, you gotta fight him, dude.
You ain't gonna take my self-respect like that.
Hey, bro. Hey, Rocky, you gotta go fight him, bro. I can't even co-sign this. You gotta go fight him. I don't care if you lose. You gotta go see him.
You gotta fight him just on principle. You just gotta fight him.
At that point, I'm like, bro, he sat up there and looked at, hey woman, bro, what? You gotta love 80s movie villains, boy. 80s movie villains, they just didn't care.
Nope, not at all, not the slightest.
That's why I still say I want a Last Dragon game.
Yeah,
with as cheesy as it would be, but have the fight physics. Had a fight physics of dang, what is the game I'm thinking of? It's like a spiritual successor to the Streets of the
Final Fight.
No. Sleeping Dogs.
Okay.
Fight physics of Sleeping Dogs with all the cheesy one-liners from The Last Dragon. That would be.
I was thinking more Streets of Rage, but I can see that.
If we go on,
I wanted to be like more of a side-scrolling beat 'em up because I think that works better for Last Dragon.
I guess if you wanted to make it more cartoony, because I was thinking more of how to make it feel more realistic.
Oh, okay.
Movie.
So you're going the realistic route.
If you go the comic book direction, I would go with like the Streets of Rage type setup with a good combo system.
Okay.
See, because that's what because of how cheesy Last Dragon was and how offended people would get, your best bet is probably like going like the cartoony route.
Mm-hmm. I was the only main reason I was thinking like Sleeping Dogs is because you just for exploration because you got to think about it. If you do a beat 'em up like that, you could add exploration to a beat 'em up. It's not like it's impossible to do.
You could. It'll be a little bit different.
It would
be like those Dungeons and Dragons games.
Yeah, no, it'd be more like River City Girls.
Yeah, that too.
To have like open area. But either one works for me as long as you get Show Enough popping up. Disrespect Bruce Leroy.
And he has to have different versions of ridiculous clothing on.
Every time you see him, his gi got to get bigger.
Yeah,
shoulder pads got to get
wide.
Got
to have either shoulder pads or he got to have straighter gi.
Having his Ray J moment.
Yeah. Gotta have, what was that like when he showed up at the movie theater? Had the gi with the sheepskin on top of it or whatever that skin was. What the heck is this? So
but look, and people think it's funny for me to say it, but look, Show Enough and Akuma are cousins. Akuma is a.
I mean,
look at Akuma, then look at Show Enough and tell me Akuma is not a palette swap with Show Enough.
To be fair, to be completely honest. Show Enough was the first person to go KO Ken.
Hey, there you go.
And then Bruce Lee
went Super Saiyan.
Oh yeah, Bruce Lee definitely went Super Saiyan for sure.
Yeah. So, but he did go KO Ken.
The glow.
Technically. But they'd have to have a mode where you get to play as Show Enough.
Oh yeah, I would love.
You kind of have to.
Now you know what? Now we got to do it's got to be a beat 'em up because if you got a show enough mode, I would definitely be playing that.
Show
And I would
enough
want to go
mode.
crazy. I would want him to be. I need to
I
hear him
want him-
talking trash while he beating up everybody.
Oh yeah, I want to be talking trash and have like insane combos because I feel like he as a character, we didn't really get to see him be his best.
Yeah.
Nah. I mean,
Yeah.
outside of the movie theater fight, he only fought Leroy.
Yeah, we didn't get to see him fight everybody else.
Yeah.
So that would be fun to do.
Yeah, do it his way. I often wonder like why that never got like a sequel or anything because I was like it actually did good for the time, even though it still was a cult classic. It did do good for its time.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they just didn't have plans for it, and they
Probably.
didn't expect the movie to do as well as it did.
Because my thing was, I'm like, bro, and once again, that's another movie that. Why did that not get a video game during the beat 'em up era?
It should.
Everything was getting a video game at that time.
Yeah, everything except like stuff that actually would have actually been good. Like even, and I hate this movie series because it's just horrible. But the first two are actually watchable. American Ninja.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's cheesy, but I never understood why that one didn't. Especially during the craze of the '80s, where everybody wanted to be a ninja. You had Shinobi, Ninja Gaiden, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like,
I'm thinking
right there.
Shaft never got a video game, did he?
Shaft never got a video game. No.
And I'm thinking you would think the Samuel L. Jackson version of Shaft would have been easily marketable.
Yeah.
Well, I think at the time though, that's when that was when the Jet Li game that came out, that they were doing true crime.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been just that people would have tripped.
I'm sorry, but if you do an old school Shaft and then do modern Shaft, because that's what what Samuel Jackson is modern Shaft.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind having a game series based on that character.
That it could work, and Sam Jackson has no problem doing voice work.
Oh no,
he'll come and do it. He'll come and do it.
Look, he'll give you extra lines.
Oh, for sure.
You're like, look, I know it ain't in the script, but just put that in. Somebody gonna like it.
You know my favorite word.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean,
no,
Shaft would be a good one.
Blade has games. Blade has a PS1 game and a PS2.
Yeah, he does have one. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Blade Trinity didn't get a game. I don't.
Yeah, Blade Trinity didn't get a game.
But yeah, now
I want to say, didn't the first one come to PS2 as well though?
First one was PS1. I got PS1. I got both of them. First one was PS1, and the second one's PS2.
Gotcha. Okay. I know they're talking about doing another one, and I'm like, y'all can't get this movie right now. Y'all might want to.
You can't even get the movie together. I am cool on that.
Yeah, y'all might want to cut that because y'all can't even get that movie going.
Yeah, RJs, just look them up real quick. You can find them on Google.
Yeah, they don't take long.
The first Blade game wasn't really all that bad. It kind of reminds me of Nightmare Creatures a little bit. If you played that.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Second one, I wasn't so great to me. It was just a little wonky. But the first one kind of felt more like Nightmare Creatures as far as how it felt to play it.
Right. But yeah, I mean, like I said, as far as movies, I mean, there ain't much out that you would want to, because a lot of these remakes already had them at one point in time. So the movie that kind of tells you about the movie scene, but but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of games that could be done when we talk about as far as genres and different types of spins. And I think, Thunderstash was mentioning the fact that we had that rumor about Star Fox Zero coming to Switch 2, and I may mention that, like, hey, me, Sandstorm, and Andre had did a whole video of the new concept of like what Star Fox could be, and if they ever remotely get close to what we talked about, that game would be freaking amazing. But it's like leaning on the back of Starlink a little bit. But I don't know if they would go back, because it was Ubisoft that did that.
Ubisoft did Starlink.
Yeah, so I mean, they got to go back.
I felt bad because you could tell like they didn't want to really do that for the other two.
You could tell they didn't.
They was trying to like, hey, look, we can do a Star Fox game. Y'all let us do it. Here's how we'll do it. Because like, the only problem with that game was it was too repetitive.
Yeah, it really
was way too repetitive. Mm-hmm. Like there wasn't enough like variety in doing stuff. Like, but as far as like with the playing with Team Star Fox, bro, like why would you get the other two versions?
Yeah,
I think honestly, Ubisoft had obligations to the other two that they couldn't get rid of. So it's like we were actually going to make this for Star Fox, and then we had to cut them out for the other versions of the game.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing that happened with Rayman.
Yeah.
Like other people got mad, even though it was done. They got mad because they weren't getting theirs at the same time and tried to,
why you won't do it for me?
Yeah.
What's so special about them?
I'm like, bro, and couldn't find out more people bought it on the Wii U anyway.
If they would have just let that game release when it was supposed to instead of delaying it, it would have sold way better.
The funny thing about it was they tried to lie, and the developer came in, oh hell no, you ain't lying on my
name. Like, nah, we finished the game.
The game is done. Yeah, basically like the game is done. Say something else.
They just want to put it on other consoles, but we was finished.
Yeah. I'm like, ooh. Man, I'm like, yeah, bro, you ain't gonna be there too much longer. I'm like, bro, they finna get rid of you because you should straight
up. Can't be telling the truth around.
I ain't gonna hold you. Look, if somebody gonna go scrap my reputation on me, I'll come out the wood too.
I do not blame Michael Ancel at all. I'm like, you're not finna lie because you don't want to tell them that it'll release when it'll release on your platforms.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't finna lie on me. But yeah, I can get that. But like, I know people love Star Fox Zero. I love Star Fox Adventures on Dinosaur Planet and Assault. So
yeah,
I'm like,
I think I'm just responding to RJ. I think that Star Fox could branch out from arcadey.
Yeah, they could.
But what they can't lose arcadey. Like you gotta have the mainline games be that arcadey Star Fox game, and then have spin-off games that let you do other things.
Yeah, because
because Dinosaur Planet was a spin-off game. So
technically it wasn't, but it should have been a spin-off, but it technically wasn't.
I always thought of it as a spin-off. I ain't never think of it as
story works.
Yeah. Well, I always thought of it as a spinoff because of just how the gameplay was set. The game was set up. I always thought of it as a spinoff, as opposed to a mainline.
Well, they can definitely go the route that like what Pokemon seems to be currently doing now, and that's having like your Arceus title and then having the mainline. So if they want the mainline to be arcadey, then be that. But definitely go the Arceus route and explore it just to see if you can come up with something new.
So who would y'all want to see? Who would you want to see work on a new Star Fox game?
Platinum, and I want Crystal to be the main character.
So that would be dope. Because who am I? Who's this company? Oh, actually, you know what? Who does the game is getting ready to come out, and I'm blanking. Damon X Machina.
Oh, that team?
Oh
yeah. Shit. That's what I would want to see.
They could make a good game in the Star Fox universe.
Yeah, because I mean they seem to already be in the mech space. Yeah. So I mean, try to find different vehicles, new vehicles, and really, I mean, you got the characters fleshed out at this point. To me personally, you know, as much as people hold on to characters when you talk about like F-Zeros and Star Fox, while I know there's lore to them, put it in the games like in your face at this point. So because you got to know more about Fox McCloud and the rest of the gang, other than hey, there's Star Fox.
I want to game with Fox's dad. Ooh. He was game with his dad. Like how he was trying to take down Andros before he got big.
Yeah, him and his dad and General Pepper. That first war they had.
See, y'all telling me stuff I didn't even know. So now,
that's General Pepper and
one of the problems that like, especially like Nintendo circa 1995 to like 2000 had was when they make a game, they put so much stuff in it for multiple spinoffs and stuff that it's easy to forget.
Oh, okay.
Like Ocarina of Time, for instance.
A lot of that stuff was in the manuals.
Yeah. Like Ocarina of Time, like, man, there's so much stuff that you would find if you had that Master Truth on and went and talked to them Gossip Stones. There was so much stuff that they left that you could like easily make a spin-off game off of.
Gotcha.
Easily. And they did the same thing for Star Fox and the same thing for a few of their other games. But I guess because they're so it's a double-edged sword because they're so gameplay focused. They make sure that gameplay is going to be perfect or
the center,
damn near close.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that like we'll put the story stuff in there, but we'll let y'all figure that out. Make sure this gameplay works. This is a video game, so
yeah. I always felt like a lot of these games needed two versions of themselves. So I mean, like you said, the arcade aspect of it, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just you don't. Some people feel like they can't get a lot of replayability out of it, or there's not enough substance for them to continue playing the game. And then when you look at things like Mario, you have the 2D Marios that can really get in your behind with with the challenges, and then you do have the 3D ones that are wider scope. They do have their challenges too, but you can create a little bit more of an idea with it. The same thing I said about Donkey Kong. If Bonanza succeeds, we can play with 2D and 3D. Like you really could. If Bonanza is not one of those stupid difficult type ordeals, you still got 2D that can still get in your behind real quick, fast in a hurry. Zelda does the same thing, top down with the like old school Zelda, and then now they've kind of kicked the door down with Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. So that seems to be the route they're going of like if we can get a 2D one and a 3D one, then bam, let's go ahead and do that and knock it out the park. So I think Star Fox having the arcadey aspect of it, and then also saying, all right, cool, we can get serious too. Like this game, while it's an on-rail shooter for the arcade one, you gonna do a couple of dog fights in this one, and it's gonna have a little bit of challenge to it, along with some collectibles, and still make it approachable for your everyday person.
Yeah, that could work. I mean,
ooh. I just had a thought because we know that James McCloud and Peppy were betrayed.
Yeah, by the pig.
Yeah, Pigma.
Yeah, Pigma.
Like
I don't know why I was about to say Wiz Pig, but that's Diddy Kong. like damn.
But that's the thing is they have so much interesting lore for all of their games, but the lore is not all in the games.
Right. Exactly.
You find it elsewhere half the time, and then people like, I didn't know this was this deep.
Yeah,
They had backstabbers in Star Fox. Yes, they did.
They did. Star Fox, Metroid, man, Metroid lore gets
nasty.
Yeah. That's what I like.
But that's the thing. Hearing y'all talk about it, me, I mean, I didn't really play it like that. I kind of dabbled in it, but I'm like, damn, that's a lot because it's kind of similar to comic books in a way. To where you'll hear some of those stories and it's like, what movie is that? It's like, nah, it's comics. I'm like, oh, okay, well, yeah, I definitely wouldn't have known because they would never put some of that stuff in movies at that point. So,
like that's one of the things that I actually love about the Prime series because the Prime series basically told people, look, we have lore for this.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do a lot of reading, but but
there is lore for this because like
read.
Basically what Metroid is it's the game version of a bottle movie. Okay. Bottle movies are basically movies that basically just like happen at this set time for this set period. Right. That's basically all Metroid games, the Metroid Prime games are, or Metroid games in general. That's why, like, if somebody tells you you're spoiling the game by saying she blows the damn thing up at the end, that's not a spoiler. That's a certainty.
That's just like saying you done spoiled the fact that the Simpsons sit on the couch in the beginning of the damn.
Yeah, that's not a spoiler. It's a certainty at this point. Like, look, there's a reason why we joke saying that Samus is Nintendo's Frieza.
Every planet she leave, kaboom.
Now, how did that happen? Like,
don't worry about it. like even in Metroid Dread, when she does that, when she talks in Metroid Dread, like you know at the end of that, you like she finna blow this doggone thing up, ain't she? That's the first thing. Like she finna blow this.
I don't go into a Metroid game without expecting an explosion at the end.
Yeah, I would personally be hurt if she didn't.
Like that's your calling card.
That's your calling card. You ain't gonna let nobody know you was here.
Right.
Just spell out of the asteroid Samus was here.
Listen, you can't go to jail if there are no witnesses left.
Well, there you go. All right, that's Frieza's logic. All right. What saying race?
Yeah, basically. But yeah, I still kind of wish we could find out more about that supposed Star Fox Metroid crossover they had supposedly planned on doing.
I'm that has been scrapped. They may bring that idea back, like they do.
I would love for them to bring it back because I think they could do it.
But does that then lead to what I was saying before of having a more serious type of Star Fox? Because when I think about Metroid, ain't nothing funny about it. Like there's nothing playful about that series.
no, she don't play. She does not play.
Star Fox, it's like, oh yeah, we're happy. Come on, let's do barrel roll. Happy.
Sometimes, but
that depends on the context of the mission. Because sometimes in the mission, Slippy getting messed up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And they always go after Slippy. I don't know why. Why do they hate Slippy so much?
I don't either.
Why? Because he's a mechanic.
I think like
that would make sense.
The reason why I would like to see it just so we'll probably actually get to actually fly the gunship and do a actual proper space battle in the gunship.
See, that is
the only thing missing from Metroid.
Yeah, and with that, we can probably get like a third person action adventure game for the foot stuff with that if they do the crossover, because the crossover can be done and you can do it serious / with serious with funny moments.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you can do it like serious with funny moments.
Metroid ain't got its fair share of funny things that happen.
But I think like the thing with Metroid is it's kind of like unironic funny. Like you're like, oh, you just got towed up. I'm laughing at you because you stupid and you deserve this.
Samus looks like she's bored when she's fighting.
Yeah.
Like that would be interesting though to like watch them tag team, like to kind of swap out. So it's like, okay, in this mission you're gonna use Samus, then you got to use Fox in this one, and kind of do something like that and have missions to where, hey, she got to get in that ship and she got to get busy.
Yeah,
it ain't you just taking off after blowing some stuff up. You got to really fight while you in this.
I would love a sequence where you do blow up a planet, but the race of the people have escaped the planet and they are so angry at you. You actually have to have a dog fight in the dust of their lost planet.
Like y'all just gonna really fight? Like y'all did just take everything out?
She
destroyed everything. This is our last ditch.
Basically. We just have a moment where Fox
y'all not going through this fight, but
just have a moment where Fox is like, we don't destroy planets, right?
Samus be like, you want Andros gone, right?
Right.
Basically. But yeah,
Andros gone, right? Let me do my thing.
Because I think that'd probably be the next, because I've heard people say, well, where can you take the story? I'm like, dude, first of all, Metroid and Star Fox is just the next mission. So that's easy to do. But I think that would be more interesting because I don't think we really get crossovers like that in gaming like that.
No, not for real.
So that would actually be cool. And once again, it don't have to be 300 hours. It can just be a 20-hour game.
Yeah.
10 to 20 hours. It ain't got to be, 450 hours of gameplay. You ain't got to do all that.
I mean, it'll help too, just kind of get those games up and running. Granted, we have Smash that is kind of like the lifeline for a lot of games to kind of get their attention, but to kind of have that type of crossover and have people anticipate it and be able to dive into those other games too would be huge. Because I think the same love can be had where you talk about Punch Out, to where Punch Out is like a cult classic and it's not on the same tier as a Zelda or a Mario or anything like that, but then you got ARMS right there. Like ARMS did pretty well, and that was crazy. We got DLC for the game, and I'm like, that's a easy.
Yeah, it was an easy layup. That was
easy layup, and they didn't take it at all.
Nothing.
Sitting there like Lil Mac should have been in that game, and he should be super fast to make up for not having long arms.
Yep,
basically, yeah.
But they got another crack at it, so we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, it's just one of those things where you're like, okay, I would like to see like that become a thing in gaming, but it's kind of hard. You got to have exclusives for that to work.
Yeah, exactly.
You just have to have exclusives for that to work.
Right. So now I did have a question, and this is just solely me being lazy and not doing the video, so I really ask it here. So for the both of you, and also for the chat as well, what is or if there is one for you, that one thing you're looking forward to with this next Switch, with the Switch 2. Like that's already been announced that we are already aware of, not something that we're speculating, but one thing we're already aware of that you're like, okay, I want to try this when I get it.
To be honest, and it's gonna be cliche coming from me, but it's because of what they did with the previous iteration, making it a what if instead of doing an actual. They letting us actually see what happened.
Right.
I'm actually looking forward to Age of Imprisonment.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because like Age of Calamity, like, don't get me wrong, I love Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, but it's a what if story. I thought we were getting what actually happened.
Oh, they had everybody gas with that.
Yeah. So this one, and I'm glad they did that creator voice because they straight up said, no, this is the imprisoning war. Cool. Just don't do no shenanigans like you did last time.
Yeah.
Because don't get me wrong, I loved what you did.
I don't love what you
but
did.
You shouldn't have did that.
Tease.
Yeah.
That was huge because when y'all told me that, I was like, wait a minute. So that wasn't even what happened. It was a what if?
It was a what if.
Like, oh, man.
And what made it so bad was you get all the way to the point where they get killed. They're supposed to die. Spoilers for a 5-year-old game. They're supposed to die. And you're like, wait a minute, y'all. Why did y'all do that? Like, why did y'all do that?
Yeah.
How you get my emotions so wrapped up, man?
Yeah, because I was like, they finna actually do it. They finna actually show them get murked. And nope.
That's crazy.
They had to give it a happy ending. Because, like, Breath of the Wild, the Age of Calamity should not have had a happy ending.
Right.
It shouldn't have.
No.
And neither should this one.
Well, this one shouldn't have a happy ending, but it should have an it should be like a hopeful ending. Because Zelda done went and told everybody her boyfriend. I mean, Link.
We all know where they end up.
I mean, she took his house.
Yeah, she definitely took his house.
She took his house. I'm like,
she made a space in his home for herself.
I'm like, nah, she didn't make a space. She took the house. You had to go make you another one. You had to go make you another one.
You gonna take that one too?
Yep.
Yeah, she go take that one. Oh, this is a big one. I can use this.
Oh, you built a mansion? Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Right. Thank you. I'm going to say for you.
Thank you.
Oh, you can go back and take your old house now. Thank you. I'll take this one.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to that one just because I would love to see. Even though I know about the imprisoning war, it's the imprisoning war they told during Ocarina. So I want to see how they changed it for this because Breath of the Wild was kind of like a soft reboot for the Zelda series.
Right. Mm-hmm.
It was kind of like a soft reboot. So I would love to see how this imprisoning war is different. Plus, I hope they let me play as Ganondorf, Super Saiyan Samoan, Bloodline, what's up, Moose, Samurai Ganondorf. So,
okay.
I'd like to see that.
Andre, what you looking for the system?
I mean, for me, Dragon Drive right now.
Okay.
Just because of how unique it is, because it shows the potential of using the Joy-Cons for multiple other different applications. Mm-hmm. And like I keep saying, I still want a mech-based game that fully uses the double mouse mode to control it and turn and aim and shoot.
Yep,
I'd be all for it.
Okay, yeah, because that's key of like when we're talking about actual changes within the controls and people actually utilizing it, because that's the hard part. You don't ever get it half of the time.
Yeah, and that's the problem. You get so many good innovations in games that don't get used.
Yep.
Or they do get used, but they get used like for like 10% of the platform's life, and then they die off.
Exactly.
If they get that.
Okay. Yeah, because I know I've been like a huge advocate for this mouse mode. Like that's been my key thing I really, really want to try out and I really want to see. And it was also, simply based off of seeing games that we know that are on PC coming over and knowing how they function. When you think about games like Civ 7, those are going to be go-to games. But then also too, kind of similar to what you said, Andre, of like just seeing how they use it. Because you look at, drag and drop to where it's a 2 mouse mode game. One game that got mentioned, but you don't even hear about outside of what we saw already was Mouse Works. It's a straight multiplayer mouse game where you just pull off mini games, and I haven't heard much more about that. So I mean, just to kind of see what they pull off and how things work. I've kind of gone into certain games and I'm like, okay, well, how can mouse mode make this better? And how can that functionality work? And you already seen, I think, the pinnacle of it, because they've been getting a lot of praise with Cyberpunk, to where, okay, you get Cyberpunk, it's all on cartridge, and it comes with the DLC, but this game also uses gyro, motion, and mouse control. So you're talking about, okay, if I'm playing mouse control and I'm shooting, but then I go to melee mode, I could flip it up and then just go to town on it. And I think that's another thing too, where I was gonna ask the chat. I know a lot of people are looking for shells and accessories to kind of make mouse mode a little bit more comfortable, even though we haven't tried it. People assume it's not going to be the most comfortable thing, but I think most of the shells that I've seen are taking away that functionality of just easily switching between the Joy-Con mode and mouse mode. And the first team that makes it easy to where it's seamless, they kind of got a winner. But yeah, that's my key thing. Like, there are some games for sure that I'm looking forward to, but most definitely anything with mouse mode in it is kind of been my go-to right now.
There's already a couple things I already know going to come. Super Mario Maker 3.
It should.
Bro. How did the guy say it? Nintendo's game that says, screw it, y'all make it now.
Yeah. Yep. Go ahead and make it, because you got Mario Maker, and I'm pretty sure the first thing that came to everybody's mind was Mario Paint.
Nah, I think Mario Paint might get dropped on the Super Nintendo for Switch 2.
Yeah, that'd be smart.
But I was also thinking, how would Splatoon feel with mouse control?
Ooh, man, that was the first thing we talked about. Splatoon.
How different would that feel? Because I mean, I'm used to it with gyro, but with mouse, it might feel a little different. Depends on what weapon you'd be using at that point,
or how they build it. Because I mean, we think about the next one that comes out. Will that be a center focus? Because with the first three, of course, gyro and how you played with gyro plus the right stick were kind of like the center focus, which I know a lot of people struggle with that, using both. But once you figured it out, it was game over.
It became so.
Oh, I'm getting jumped. Shit. All right, my bad.
My problem was the Japanese players, though.
Always, you saw them characters. I was like, oh, never mind.
The roller and
they be sliding along the ground, ricochet off the wall, jump out, pop you real quick, and keep on going. I'm like, goodness,
bro, it was disgusting.
Yeah.
Like, bro, like, I'm good, but I ain't that good.
Yeah. That game in itself, movement wise, is gonna be crazy. With stick mode, and I know a lot of people were mentioning now that we've seen what was the game Nobunaga, to where you can use the third-party mouse accessories, or the third-party mouse outside of the Joy-Con. So I'm pretty sure everybody gonna have their razors and everything else plugged up, ready to go.
So you could probably just plug in a normal mouse and it'll work. And everybody's sitting here like, oh, I got to buy the expensive stuff.
They about to get the $150.
And you really don't need all that. You really don't need all that. Like, but I feel bad for people who buy into that, thinking that, oh, if I got this,
I gotta get all the new stuff.
Yeah, like, dude, no, you don't.
No, you don't.
You really don't.
Hey, let them spend it. Let them spend it. And I'm like, hey, I'm just using the Joy-Con, and we still gonna get business done.
Yeah,
100%. We still gonna take care of business.
I got a theory though, and Dark Void will probably make fun of me for this, because I get the feeling that the new Perfect Dark is going to end up on Switch 2.
Oh yeah,
rolls. Bro, I mean, the reason why I think why I think you're absolutely right in that is because they want to make money.
Oh yeah,
and I know this game is over. I know that game's over budget by now.
Oh yeah, definitely.
By now,
in 2019. That game's over budget by now.
2 years, I'm assuming.
Yeah. So I think they're gonna put this thing's probably gonna go everywhere.
Oh yeah,
it's probably going everywhere.
So I mean, but with that though, I mean, are we looking at June 8th as that say all? Hey, this is what's all coming from Xbox.
They did say the rest of their shows from now on will show every logo for the games that are going everywhere. They said that they said that back in March or April.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Jeez.
I mean, what Forza's already over on PS5, so
and it's going to come to Switch too.
Yeah,
that's the only one I'm iffy on. That's the only one I'm iffy on, and the solely reason why I said I'm iffy on it is because I feel like they would have to make adjustments for the Switch because there's no analog triggers.
That's
because that game counts on analog triggers as a racing game. So you would have to make it to where if I press the right trigger, I'm not burning out immediately with my tires. Like you gotta adjust it. You have to make the acceleration do it automatically, opposed to me doing it with the trigger.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
But yeah, that one's there, and I know Gears is going. If it's not already over on PlayStation, Gears is going. So I'm like, I actually think that Perfect Dark,
that pop vinyl game. I think.
Yeah, because that's what I say. I think Perfect, especially with Killer Instinct Gold, because when you go on NSO and look at Killer Instinct Gold, it has Microsoft on it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, they're letting stuff come over. So I would not be surprised if we get Conker's Bad Fur Day on NSO.
I would say we get Psychonauts first, Psychonauts 2 first before we get any of that, because I feel like they want to bring that over first. Because Psychonauts 2 is something that should have been on Nintendo.
They're probably going to do. Hold on, is the first Psychonauts on Switch?
Let me check. Let me see.
I'm aware of.
Because I was going to say if they didn't do the first one, they'll probably do a remaster of the first game and bring the second one over.
Yeah. Geronimo, I could see Halo Master Chief Collection coming, especially if that whole rumor about they wanted Master Chief Smash was true.
Yeah.
You know, Microsoft going to try to be dirty because they're going to try to get 2 representatives in there. Yeah. They're going to try to get Master Chief in there. They're going to try to get...
I think Marcus Phoenix might jump in there a little bit.
Yeah, that's now the Master Chief Collection is fun, but I only really play 2 and 3. I don't really play them.
Yeah, I'm about to say I don't go past 3. Not for real.
Play 2 and 3. Like
now they can bring Halo Wars over now that they got the mouse controls.
Yeah.
So like the RTS stuff for sure.
Yeah. Halo Wars wouldn't have been a bad choice.
Yeah.
Either one of them.
But Psychonauts is not on the Switch. Okay. So I mean, honestly, out 2 is the better fit. I mean, as much as I loved the original Psychonauts, unless they remake that, just bring 2. Yeah. I'll happily replay it because I beat that game. I didn't 100% it, but because I mean some of them things are almost impossible, it seems. But but yeah, definitely bring Psychonauts 2. Like you said, the Halo Master Chief Collection. If they can do something with Forza, that would be cool. What else are we make? Hi-Fi Rush for sure needs to come.
Should have been.
That's on the Switch.
Yeah. Rare Replay. I still don't know why that's not there.
Yeah.
So I mean they got some games that need to come for sure. And somebody else asked a question about PlayStation. Oh, Lek. If they don't do I will say Sly Cooper Collection. I'll let them test the waters with Sly Cooper Collection.
You wanna know what the real test would be?
Which one?
Ratchet and Clank.
That too.
That would upset so many people.
Oh, dude, man,
because it doesn't have the power of the PS5.
Especially what was the last one, the Rift one, man.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. Rift Apart.
Yeah.
Ooh, that would piss so many people off.
Geronimo, I can see Gravity Rush coming.
Yeah,
I can see that
because I'm pretty sure they want to collect some love for that game.
If they're gonna bring that, if they're gonna bring Gravity Rush back, they need a team for it.
That's true.
RJ, the only reason why I wouldn't go with Astro is because I feel like Astro is the new face of Sony. I just can't foresee them shooting themselves in the foot like that.
I can see Astrobot being in Smash though. I can see Astrobot being in Smash.
I can see Sony
trust me, I see that too.
But I don't see them like you said, I don't think they bring
Yeah, because that's a shot in the foot easily. So I mean, now there are, because for me, I'm looking at Horizon Zero Dawn, well, Horizon in general, like, because the Sony fandom did not eat that game up, it needs to get some love from somewhere. I'm trying to think, like we said, the Ratchet and Clank series, Jack and Daxter series, Sly Cooper series, like all the ones that they all have collections that have been remade to an extent. I think at least for the PS4, if not the PS3. So those are not even on like the PS3 games, those are not even where you can download them on PSN at this point. So I mean, might as well just put it on the cartridge and call it a day. Ape Escape, Geronimo said it too. So there, all the games that they kind of strayed away from, like the cartoony character games, go ahead. I mean, because at some point, I'm pretty sure Toys for Bob is going to bring us Spyro and Crash.
Yeah.
So I mean, even though if that rumor's true, then the Spyro one got canned. But it just all depends on how things go. But their character games that they don't want to do outside of like the cinema type games, yeah, bring those over. Let Nintendo fans eat that up. I'll double dip, triple dip for some of these, because Ratchet and Clank is still one of my favorites. That's still one of my go-tos.
I feel bad for Ratchet and Clank because they should have never did that movie.
Never.
They should have never
and the
did that
game, and then followed it up with the game too.
Yeah,
like they both were bad.
Yeah,
both were bad.
Yeah, they should not have done that. But like, I've never understood why they let Sly Cooper just sit. I've never understood why they let Jack and Daxter sit. Yeah, Naughty Dog said they don't want to do it no more because they're mature. Then give it to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
It's still yours. I mean, Nintendo let Sora get Kid Icarus.
Yeah, look.
You got there's other companies you can get to make your titles if that's the case. Like if Naughty Dog want to pretend like they an adult now, then let somebody else do it.
And look, I applaud companies that say, hey, we want to be the ones to port it because we don't want any excuses, we don't want any issues, because we've seen some port companies mess up games. Yeah. But that doesn't mean that you don't have to be around to kind of micromanage and see how they handled it. Even if you don't want to do it, just like, hey, these are some things. If you got questions, we're here. Just ensure that, everything runs the way it needs to run. But Sony could really clean up on series they don't use anymore.
Yeah.
Like, hey, take care of your fans to where they want the Death Strandings, they want the Last of Us type games, things like that. And then they say they do. And then you come to the Nintendo side and you say, hey, look, y'all didn't get to play this. Now we're not going to be oblivious and say that y'all never played them because, there's only a handful of people I know that's only touched a Nintendo console.
Yeah.
But,
multi-console owners now anyway.
Right. So at that point, hey, look, guys, we're going to bring these. Now, their group is going to cry about it. Like, the Sony fans are going to cry about it because if they don't get it too, they're going to be pissed.
The loud minority is going to complain, but
yeah,
the execs ain't going to complain when they see the return on investment.
Because can you imagine, like, within the first week, let's say the Jack and Daxter collection sells 2 to 3 million within the first week. They were like, oh, wait a minute. they like these? Bring them on down. Come on.
Yep.
It's an easy sell. It's an easy sell because even with Kingdom Hearts, even though Square Enix messed up the first time around, if they come back and say, hey, here's the collection, it's not cloud, it's on this cartridge, have at it. I think people were like, you know what?
It'll get bought.
Right. It'll get bought. Yeah.
That's why I never understood why they did that. I'm like, bruh, I know y'all ain't that allergic to money. Y'all not Capcom. Y'all not that allergic to money where you can't see, because you got it. Like 4 of those games are on the Nintendo handhelds.
Yeah.
So why would you not do the collection for the Wii U and the Switch? That doesn't make no sense. But you're gonna do it for cloud? Man, get the hell up out of here, man. Come on, dude.
It don't make sense.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense because once again, it's like Capcom when Capcom was just allergic to money. Because I still don't understand why Beautiful Joe didn't get a HD remake.
Yeah, and I'm curious as to what's going on with that game.
Okami got how many HD remakes? Like 3 or 4?
And not to mention, did that I don't even want to call it a spinoff, but like, did the sequel get to go anywhere outside of the PSP? I think it was, or the Vita.
I don't
The
think
one
so.
where it was like the little baby Akami.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Huh.
No, I think he did.
Hold on. What was that game even called? Was it on the 3DS and the Vita?
It might have been on 3DS and Vita.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me see. Akami. I think it was it 2? I don't even know. It was called something. That ain't it. 3DS. Oh yeah. So the Akami Den.
Yeah,
It was on the DS.
Yeah.
On the DS. So yeah, I mean that one's stuck on DS.
Yeah.
So it's look, and the RJ boy, y'all be on it, man. But it's like, but yeah. So I mean, it's a lot of games like that they keep doing, but I don't know. I feel like Beautiful Joe had to rub somebody the wrong way.
I think it was a Tyrannosaurus Rex from Jurassic Park that they rubbed the wrong way.
It's like I don't get it. I don't know, because that game, they had how many entries?
It was 3. It was 2 on GameCube, and then it was the DS game, the Double Trouble game, and then it was the Smash Brothers type game. That's the game that didn't sell. The Smash Brothers.
The Rumble. What's it called? Rumble. Like Rumble or something? Yeah,
Rumble.
Okay.
And I'm like, that's because you shouldn't have did. You shouldn't have tried to make it like Smash. What you should have did was just make a fighter.
Yeah. You
should have tried to copy. Anytime somebody tried to copy Smash, it did not end well for them.
Yeah.
Like the only people that got close was PlayStation All Stars, and that was they wanted to make a serious fighter, and I'm like, just make it fun.
We're gonna call that close.
That's the closest one, because remember, Cartoon Network tried it. That didn't work. There was a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game on Wii that tried it. That didn't work.
True.
And there was the Beautiful Joe Rumble game. That damn show didn't work. So that was PlayStation also was the closest one.
True.
And it's like Smash is here. PlayStation also here. So it wasn't close. and this is somebody who actually didn't mind the PlayStation All-Star game. I thought it wasn't a bad game. I just thought that it lacked that thing that made it fun. Smash Bros. Is fun because it's wacky.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They tried to make it too. It felt like they tried to make it too serious. And then once again, you don't have your exclusives, so you're relying on third party.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. You pretty much let all your exclusives go. So
yeah. I mean,
then when they didn't make Smash Bros. Money and Smash Bros. Notoriety, they killed it. When I'm like, don't kill it. Don't kill it. Support it. But they killed it. So
I mean, there's plenty of games. I mean, I was happy to see some of the rumors about Astral Chain 2. So I mean, cool that we actually gets another spin around. And so now if the rumors are true and we get a 2, do you think we even see a cleanup for 1, like to where the frame rates are?
Do we have time?
I mean, if it's one of those things to where the frame rates are unlocked and the system just does it, then that works.
Now, if the frame rates are unlocked, then just let the system do it.
Yeah.
But if it's not, then the question is, do you have time? Because it goes back to that Xenoblade Chronicles X discussion. Because remember, in 2018, when they kept asking him, he was like, no, we already got stuff we're working on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's why they didn't do it then. But then once they got time, they were able to go on and do it.
Yeah.
It just depends. And right now, Platinum done lost like 3 more people. So I don't know how this is going to work. I don't know. Because we may not get another Bayonetta game. We may not.
Well, the rumor says that they are working on 4 already. Okay. So it's one of those things to where, like, I can see a lot of games coming, but this can easily be a system to where all of the platformers, the action adventure games can come and people will actually love and support it. So we hope. So it's definitely one of those things to where I'm like, okay, I say it all the time. EA, there's no excuse. There's mouse.
They will find an excuse.
There's mouse support.
They're gonna find an excuse.
Sir, you can utilize. They don't have to go through the trouble of controller configuration, because I know that's a pain. I've played those games before. They're a pain because it's on the PlayStation 5. Like, they have a console version. Mouse it up. So now, but yeah, I don't know. I'd like to see a lot of these games come over, but that would be smart for Sony. I mean, you're already on PC, so it's not like it's hurting anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely take those games that you don't publish anymore, and throw a new coat of paint on them.
Make some money.
and make some money. It's fairly simple, and I will be the fool to go and purchase it.
Yeah.
Like each
I mean,
collection,
a lot of us would. Like
yeah.
to be fair, a lot of, because you don't have to. And the thing is, you don't have to charge an arm and a leg for it.
You don't.
You don't.
No.
So it's one of those situations where if I'm Sony and I'm hemorrhaging money like that, that is an option I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Like, I know people get mad with, it's like, well, Nintendo don't do it. Yeah, because they don't have to.
They don't have to. Yeah.
Like, they're not hemorrhaging money like that. Microsoft and Sony are hemorrhaging money. So when you have, like, for instance, I don't know how much Halo Infinite costs, but they clearly didn't make their money back.
No.
So, and that's an issue. Like, you get mad, but yeah, Tears of the Kingdom did not cost Nintendo that much to make. They made all their money back.
Yep.
Mario Kart World is not going to break Nintendo's bank. Nope. It's not. Astral Chain did not break the bank. All they had to do was sell, like, I think it was 400,000 copies, and they sold like 1.33 million.
Which I think a lot of people don't understand that. Like,
yeah.
And that's why they're in a very, very good position, because they took it slow. Like, they jump in the moment that HD TVs popped up. Oh, now we're in HD. They wasn't a need for it. Like, you got to have that game. You got to have the catalog, and that's kind of the same thing they get hit for too. Of like, oh well, all it is Mario, Zelda, and Pokemon. Like, well,
and you're gonna play it, so be quiet.
You're gonna play it, and on top, what makes it even worse is, like, it's not like they're the same game. Your developer says, hey, we only dropping like 2 or 3 of them, we're moving them on, and then you turn around like, man, I sure wish we still had it. Like, obviously not.
Yeah, because I mean, like, and to be fair, you should only have like one game like that a generation. Like,
you really should, yeah.
Like, yeah, the Tears of the Kingdom dropping this past gen, like, that makes sense because it's been an elongated generation. Nintendo usually only does 5 to 6 years. They don't do 8.
Yeah.
So that can happen, but normally, yeah, you only get one a generation, because you only should get one a generation.
You should.
You shouldn't get 3 and 4 a generation. You should only get one. Like Mario Odyssey, that came out in 2017.
Yep.
I love that game too, by the way. I'm mad that we don't get more HD 8-bit sections and stuff. that was actually dope. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. They don't spend all that money, and people get mad about it. But I'm like, yeah, but they make all their money back. Their stuff get profit real quick.
That weekend.
Yeah. that weekend. You claim that you love so much that you buy all their games used for, ain't making money like that.
Very, very true. Very true.
It's not fair that Tears of the Kingdom is still $70. So
that's where I always, for anybody that's willing to actually have the conversation, is like, you have to take yourself out of the consumer mindset, and you really have to think from both ends. If I told you my game is $70 and it has not lost any crazy traction whatsoever, why would I adjust that price?
That doesn't make sense.
Especially if I made my money up front, then I know I can just leave it alone. Because 9 times out of 10, your company put it on sale because they haven't met their profit line yet,
and they're still not going to make the profit because now you're selling it cheaper.
Exactly.
And it should have been costing. It shouldn't have cost $60. It should have cost $90 for all the stuff you put in it. But you can't. You can't do that because that's going to piss people off. So, you have to find other ways to get people to do it by DLC and microtransactions, which they claim they don't buy.
Or the deluxe edition.
Yeah, deluxe editions.
Themes.
It's literally the conversation of, would you rather pay, what is it, $49.99 and no shipping, or would you want to pay the, what is it, $45 and $5 in shipping? Most people still go for the $49.99 because they see the word free in there. It's a mental thing.
It's a mental thing.
Because I feel like that's the same thing with the conversation we had with old boy for the Borderlands. Like, I was like, I feel like I'm on the wrong side of this. I don't see an issue with what he said.
Yeah, I don't see an issue either.
I don't see an issue with what he said.
Pitchford.
Yeah, like he's being upfront with you. Like, he's being very honest. It's just, I think I've seen people mention, like, well, he shouldn't say it, like, so you just want to be oblivious to what you already know. Like, you know what it is. Why does it matter if he says it or not? You know it's true.
Yeah. RJ, I like the Majora's Mask thing, but it's one of those situations where that was basically they used pretty much every asset from Ocarina.
Yeah.
It was, and they just named it different. That's pretty much what they did.
Yeah.
Even Aonuma admits that.
Yeah.
But I get you. I see what you're saying. But yeah, Pritzker didn't say he didn't say nothing wrong. And
he didn't.
Remember, I thought that's what we wanted as gamers.
Honesty.
We wanted honesty. When somebody's honest, you can't handle it. Like he was telling you straight up, hey, look, man, it is what it is. But like I said, I've been saying this for at least the past 2 generations. Like these games should not be costing $60 because when they do go up, y'all gonna get mad.
Yeah.
And
and hopefully there's somebody in the chat that feels different because I genuinely want to ask the question of first and foremost, we don't even know if the game is going to be 80. It was just a question. Somebody asked him a question.
He basically said games being priced at that price point is a fair thing now because of all the stuff going into it.
Yeah. Which, and I've said it's probably need to be more depending on what game it is.
Yeah,
and I said the same thing 8 years ago.
But he's right though. If you're a fan, right? I'm pretty sure in somebody's boardroom, they're gonna say, okay, here's a standard, here's the deluxe, and we might even do an ultimate. If we get anybody to purchase that ultimate, that means there's somebody out here willing to pay that much money for this game.
And most of those ultimate editions are over $100.
And may not even come with the game. Like
I can tell you right now, all those Legend of Heroes, Trails of Cold Steel, and Trails in the Daybreak, they all have ultimate editions that all over $100. I promise you somebody bought them.
Yeah, they wouldn't still be making them if people weren't buying them.
There you go. Yeah. Yep, there you go.
If people are buying ultimate editions of games for $110, $120, $130, what makes you think that a company isn't going to say, well, we can charge $80 for baseline?
Well, it's just the fact that he said it. So
you
know it to be true. So then why does it fit?
I'd rather you give me the poison up front than stab me in the back with it.
That's why I tell people all the time. I was like, I'm from Alabama. I'd rather you be an upfront racist than find out a little bit later in a different way. So just be upfront with me.
Yeah, so that's the thing. I'm like, the one thing people been complaining about, talking about they want people to be transparent and be honest, and then they be honest, and then you mad that they was honest.
But RJH, we get that the developers themselves don't get the price of the game unless they, independently publish.
Yeah, we get that.
But the point is, he was just making the statement that, hey, this price range is fair for what's being used to make these games.
Right.
Yeah. You can't complain about wanting all voice acting, full orchestral music. You can't complain about that wanting cinematics and all this, and then complain about the price.
Yeah,
you can't do that. I mean, I don't. At this point, it's like, dude, you can't keep complaining, talking about $80, $90, but you want all this stuff in it.
Yeah,
like you get mad when, oh man, I gotta read.
Either you don't.
Yeah, that's a wild statement.
Yeah, like
no,
they will straight up say they will get mad and be like, man, I gotta read. I shouldn't have to read. They should just talk. You gotta pay for that. These voice actors ain't for free. Voice actors don't do this for free. That's a job.
And look, before anybody gets the idea to say, well, we could just do AI as a voice actor. No.
That ain't what you want.
No.
You do not want that, because then you're cutting out a lot of people's jobs in the industry.
Yeah.
Two, you're going to lose a lot of the human element that's already there, and that's still slipping as is. And 3, the only way I would want any AI voices to be used at all is if the people that those AIs are mimicking are getting paid for that mimicry. Like I said before in the video, if you have like a RPG that has multiple choices, multiple routes or whatever, or somebody finally gets the bright idea to have a game that talks back to you as you talk to it. If the game is mimicking those voices and stuff like that, then the person that played that voice or played some of those situations so that could be generated, they should get paid for that work.
All right.
Sertan, you are absolutely right. I want 8K 120 frames per second for $2. That's how some of you do bad.
No, man, no. It's got to be 8K 144 frames per second.
So even though nothing you watch is in 40,
at all. And like I said, we get it. Like the stuff costs, and no one wants it to be at a higher price, but it softens the blow when you use common sense. It's like, all right, at some point we were going to get here, because I had this conversation with my wife about eggs, right? And she was like, "Oh, now eggs are like $5 or $6." I was like, "You have to really stop and think about it. We've been getting over on eggs for a minute. Like, you've been paying for a dozen eggs for like $1.50. Like, come on. Like, you've been lowballing on eggs for a minute. Not to say that I like it, but at some point somebody was gonna start getting their just due. But as far as gaming, I don't ever take it that serious to where if it gets too crazy in pricing, I guess I just got a new hobby. Because it ain't gonna ever be that deep for me. But we'll see where it goes.
Stuff.
Yeah, well, we'll see where it goes. And for anybody not familiar with this channel that's here now, I mean, we don't do fear mongering, because I'm seeing a lot of think pieces on like $80 games. I'm like, can you name me another one outside of Mario Kart World? Like that, but even then, that has an option that's lower than 80.
I can name plenty that were above 80 once you include the Ultimate Edition, but it's a benefit to me. Yeah, well, you spent yourself into that benefit.
Exactly.
If they put, you got to speak with your wallet. I mean, I tell the Pokemon community this all the time. You can't keep yelling boycott, and then you can't keep yelling boycott, and then the game is the best-selling game of this generation.
Because
that's not how a boycott works.
They don't know how to boycott, because it's like, I can't come on Twitter and say, let's boycott. I don't know nobody, ain't set up no petition, ain't organized nothing. I just said it and just expected people to follow behind me. That's not how that works.
I say it's FOMO.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, so all right, people. We're gonna call it tonight. Thank you, everybody in the chat, for coming through. We appreciate you for being here. Andre, anything you want to pimp out?
I mean, it's just a couple videos from this week. Just talking about Google's AI video.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That was wild.
That is scary.
Yeah, that was wild. So,
and I gave my opinion on the. Well, no, that was last week. Never mind. That was the only one besides the pitch for Switch 2 medium video, but nobody's gonna care about that one.
All right. Jack, what you got?
So still in plans to get this freaking capture card up and running whenever we go and do the midnight release. So my idea is just to kind of show off the unboxing, show off the system transfer, because I plan to do the system transfer, and then also showcase some games. I'm not going to like record a whole bunch of stuff, but my intent is to try to record it the night we go pick it up, and then have it uploaded the following day, if not on the 6th, because I got some stuff I got to do that weekend, so it definitely won't happen then. So hopefully give people an idea of what certain games look like that didn't have patches listed, so like Echoes of Wisdom, and then also kind of give them a look at some of the mouse mode stuff as well, like I said, along with the system transfer, but then just really just put out some good content. And also same thing with World Tour, because we once again just something that people wanted, so therefore they're going to give like this disingenuous statements about it, and this view about it. It's like you went to the event and they're going to have more than too many games in this game. So to say that it's just like a virtual manual is, come on, like y'all know Nintendo better than that. Like they're not just going to hit you with no too many games to call it a day. Yeah. So I really want to see what Welcome Tour is all about, as well as give a good look at Fast Fusion as well. So it'll be some quick hits here and there, but those videos will be recorded opposed to like doing some live situation, because I have my kids with me and I'm not putting them on live. So, but yeah, so that should be coming up next week whenever we actually get the console.
Okay, all right, cool. Just check the channel. I did record some gameplay for a couple games, so I'll probably post those sometime this week. And other than that, we will see you guys next Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace out, people.
Peace.
Peace, folks.